Hi, I'm Amy Gibbs, and this is the Art Heritage lesson for African Masks for District 51, Mesa County Valley School District 51 Art Heritage. What we are going to be providing you in your box will be a class set of markers, which you're familiar with, paper plates, which you will see, and glue gun, glue sticks to go in the glue guns, some construction paper. It'll be in whole pieces, and there will be some partial pieces like this because you won't need to use really big chunks, and you'll see why. Okay, so to begin with, our African mask unit is a cultural unit rather than an individual artist. So what we're going to be talking about is the significance of African masks in the culture of many, many years ago. There are still African masks being used in traditional culture. But what we're talking about is something that's very old and very traditional. So African masks are not necessarily for play. They're for passing on cultural information, educational, and storytelling. So what we start with is a paper plate, and there's a couple of ways you can deal with the paper plate. I'm going to undo this so you can see. This particular mask, I used the paper plate as a basis and cut a slit in the top, then overlapped those two pieces and stapled them together. And you might want to try and keep the staples with the little ends on the outside so that it won't be right next to the children's faces when they put on their mask. And that gives the plate just a little bit more dimension, a little more depth. You can do that. Another thing that you can do is to cut pieces out of the plate to make it a different shape. And this is fairly simple. You can get as elaborate as you want. You can cut into it quite a bit. You can just cut it, as I did, as an oval shape, more of a chin shape down here. Obviously you're going to want to cut eyes in your mask, and I've found that after experimenting, most people's eyes are about 2 to 2.5 inches apart, so you probably don't need to measure each individual child where their eyes are. Just put it about 2 inches apart and it'll work just fine for them. I would really highly recommend for the younger students that you use your pointy scissors to poke the initial hole in the plate, and then if you want to let them cut the eye holes out from there, then you can certainly give them their own scissors and let them do that. With the paper, in your packet you'll be getting a sheet of paper that talks about paper manipulation. I have some examples of what you might want to do with just paper on these masks. There's pieces that can of course stick out. This is a kind of a way to do hair, and I'll show you that in just a moment. There's pieces I've glued on. I used some pieces of paper plate here for eyebrows and lips so that they stick out just a little bit. It's what I cut off the edges here for the chin. Also, of course, students will be using the markers, and there's a huge set here for each school. Also, there's dimensional things you can make, like noses. Now I'm going to show you how to make this kind of a nose. First, you need to cut out a triangle from whatever paper you want to make the nose with, and just simply fold it in half lengthwise. Doesn't have to be perfect. So you have a nose. Then that can be glued on. We're giving you hot glue so it'll work really fast. And for the younger students, of course, you're going to want to help them. They show you where they want their things glued on, and you glue it on for them. You can certainly use white glue. It works just fine for this kind of thing. But you glue your nose on like that. The hair, this wonderful zigzaggy hair. Rectangle piece of paper, cut into strips. I'm going to cut the last strip here for you. Leave a little piece at the top so they're all connected. Then teach the students how to do an accordion fold. Fold a little piece over, fold it the other way, fold it the back way, the forward way, then the back way. Do the whole strip, each strip, back and forth, back and forth. You'd be amazed how many kids don't know how to do that. And then you have an accordion. They do all of those in that piece of paper, then they'll come out with something like this that makes some really cool hair. Okay, as an alternative for hair or whatever, use yarn. Punch holes around the edge of your mask. Maybe a ½ inch in or so, give it a little bit of strength. Take your pieces of yarn. You might want to pre-cut some chunks of yarn just for this purpose. Fold it in half, take the loop end, poke it through the little hole, pull it up so there's a little bit of a loop, and then pull the tails through the loop, and it'll stay on. It's really fast, and you can teach students how to do that pretty easily. Okay? There are some other ways of manipulating paper. One of them is simply to curl paper, strip of paper, pencil. Wrap it around the pencil tightly. Just keep rolling it until it's all completely wrapped up on the pencil, like that. When you let it go, it makes a nice curl. And those can be used for beards or for hair or for just decoration. This is a little spiral paper. Okay? It's just a nice little spring, and all it is a circle of paper cut into a spiral. You notice when I cut, I turn the paper, not the scissors. Turn the paper, keep the scissors going in one direction, and you have a spiral. All of this stuff can be added onto your masks, including with whatever other materials you want to provide. You can provide raffia, you can provide, of course, we will not be providing yarn, so you'll want to provide that if you need it. Any other materials you think would be fun to add on to them. We will be providing tongue depressors, which is a really easy way to attach a holder to your mask. You'll want to hot glue that on so you'll have a nice mask holder for the students to use like that. The other possibility with the paper that we'll be giving you is to staple a headband. Just staple one end of a strip of paper to one side of the mask, attach it to the other side. This is about right for my head, big head. And then they have a way to put the mask on. Okay? So you will also be getting images on your PowerPoint that you can use to have up on the screen while the kids are working on their masks, so that you can have just one big screen with a bunch of different masks, images on it, that students can get ideas from the actual African masks. So, I think that's everything. As always, if you need any help, you go to my email or Connie's email. They're both on all the handouts and they're on the website. So, good luck and happy masking.